Are you coming to Hamvention this year? And are you bringing a radio to hope to activate a couple parks while you're in town? Or are you going to buy a radio at Hamvention and activate some parks on your way back? I'm sure, like me, you've gone to a pota location before and you couldn't find a good parking spot and you couldn't find a good place to set up. There are no picnic tables. You didn't know where to activate. You spent most of your time driving around and trying to figure out where to set up, right? While you're in town for Hamvention, you don't have time for that. So in this video, I'm going to show you my 5 favorite pota locations around the Dayton area, what they look like, what you will need to activate that location. And I've got one super secret location that's only 3 miles from 4 Days in May that you wouldn't be able to find just by looking at the pota map. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the super secret FDIM location, even though it's terrible for marketing. But 4 Days in May comes before Hamvention, so I'll give that one to you first. So here we are at 4 Days in May at the Holiday Inn in Fairborn, across from Wright State. And if you come just up the road to Wright Brothers Hill, this is a pota location. It falls under the Dayton Aviation Heritage National Park, which you wouldn't know from looking at the map. If I go here, if I go here, this Huffman Prairie Interpretive Center is where we're going. So here we are. It's about 8 minutes from the 4 Days in May hotel, and it's a killer location. Let me show you why. Here we are leaving the FDIM parking area, go by Wright State. It's a little jaunt down the road next to the base. The only tricky part is the pull-in area here, where it looks like you're going to go on base and the gate is closed, but really you turn right. And you'll notice you go up a large hill, and this is the real advantage of this location. So lots of trees, lots of picnic tables, and then you've got a great elevation advantage over the surrounding area. So this is a great place to throw up an antenna in a tree. I always do very well in this location. I've gotten DX multiple times in this location. This is one of my favorite locations around the Dayton area, and it just happens to be a few miles from 4 Days in May. Next, let's look at the 2 pota locations closest to Hamvention. If we start here at the Greene County Expo Center, the first one is the Charles Young Buffalo Soldier National Monument. And the second one is a brand new pota location called Great Council State Park. This opened in June of last year, so it opened after Hamvention last year. So if you have activated other parks in the past while you were in town, this one is brand new. Let's look at Great Council first. This location, you're going to need either a vehicle with an antenna or a self-contained vertical. There aren't trees here that you can throw an antenna up in. Most of the time I've activated this park, I've used the parking lot adjacent back here. Those trees are not part of the Great Council Park. They are owned by the people in those houses behind the park. So this is a brand new park, but you're going to need a self-contained antenna for this one. Next up is the Charles Young Buffalo Soldiers National Monument. This is a historical property, kind of a pota location. I have only activated from the parking lot in this location. There are some trees in the side yard here This is one where I would definitely ask permission before you set up in the side yard. Like I said, I've only activated from a vehicle in this location. Both of the locations closest to Hamvention are a little bit of a compromise. They're going to require you to bring a little bit more gear. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what these look like and what you should be ready for. Now that you've seen the parks closest to Hamvention, let's look at a couple of my favorite parks around the Dayton area. Both of these are large state parks, so I'm going to show you my favorite place to activate to get you in, get that activation in, and get out of there. This first one we're going to look at is John Bryan State Park. It's just north of Hamvention through Yellow Springs, which is a great little town to go check out if you're going this direction and you have some time. You can see John Bryan is a little bit further away. We're looking at about 27-minute drive from Hamvention. And John Bryan is a large state park. I'm going to show you my favorite place to set up in John Bryan. If we zoom in here, I like this Orton picnic area. It has a couple of options for picnic tables and trees, and it's a little bit more off the beaten path. So I've activated here multiple times, and I don't get a lot of crowds, a lot of trail use. It's a little bit more secluded. So let me show you how to get there. Now you can just punch Orton parking connector or Orton picnic area into Google, but I'll just give you a little glimpse of how to get back there. We're coming in the main entrance to John Bryan here. There is the ranger station. We're going to veer left at the fork, go by the play area there, and then stay right at the white building. We're going to go on back past this picnic area all the way back to the back. And I will say don't speed through here. It is a pretty good speed trap. So we're going to come all the way back to the end. And this is that Orton parking area. And I'll show you where I go from here. So there are a couple different picnic table options here in this Orton picnic area. The first one is right in the parking area here, which I've never used. It's a little bit too many people in that area, a little too high traffic. There is one just down the hill there, but my favorite is back the way that we came. The road that you came in on is on the right now over there. And back down this little path is a great little picnic area with some fantastic trees. I've got multiple activations from this site. The area that I just showed is right back in this area from the parking. This last POTA site that I'm going to show is another one of my favorites. It's part of the Caesar Creek State Park. There are a lot of hams that stay at Caesars Creek over the Hamvention weekend. And the camping area is up here in the northeast corner. We're going to go across the lake and find a different area. It's a little bit lower traffic and one of my favorite places to activate. So I'm going to zoom in here. And the things that you can Google to find this are the Caesar Creek Archery area. Also the Hopewell Day Lodge. You have to drive by the archery area to get to the Hopewell Day Lodge. This is also the Hopewell Group Camp area. And this is one of my favorite spots because it has a picnic table, it has a couple of great trees, and it even has a bathroom. So let's check it out. As we come up Middletown Road here, the first thing you're going to see is the signage for the archery area on the left. This is the parking lot that we want to pull into. And this is the Hopewell Group Camp area. There's a chance that someone could be camped here over Hamvention weekend, although I've never encountered a group camping here. But this is a fantastic site next to a little pond. Got that perfect tree on the right, which I have used multiple times. Picnic table. Got a restroom back by the parking lot. What's also nice about this is it's a low traffic area. You'll get some people using the archery area, but generally this has a lot less traffic than some of the other trails around Caesars Creek. You're also about 4 or 5 miles from the camping area. So if there are hams in the camping area who are activating the park, you'll at least have a little bit of distance between you and them activating this area. All right, so that's it. Those are all of my secrets for activating parks around the Dayton area while you're in town for Hamvention. I'll link Google Map locations down below, and I'll also link some of my activation videos from these sites so you can see what it looks like when I was there. I hope you all enjoy Hamvention this year. If you see me, say hello, and until next time, 7-3.